Hello, I'm Jeff Ajik. I'm the owner and founder of Action Continuous Improvement and Continuous Improvement Central. And today I want to talk to you about some of your options when you are trying to do an improvement or make an improvement in your organization. So there's four basic levels of continuous improvement oriented project types. And there's other types of projects you can use throughout your organization. You know, your IT team is going to have their own sets of projects and that sort of, regular standardized project management. But when I'm talking about these improvement projects, these are specific to continuous improvement. And I just want to talk about the four basic ones. So the first one is, first thing to talk about is that when people think about continuous improvement, they often gravitate to either Kaizen or to A3, depending on what their experiences are. So Kaizen is probably the most common thing that people think about for continuous improvement. But there's a couple other ones. There's the just-in-time improvement, where you just empower your employees to make quick, on-the-spot changes, and you have to make sure that you have a specific kind of parameters for them to do that on. And then you have countermeasure sheets, which is like an A3 light, and it's more oriented towards bigger problems that need a little bit more analysis, but maybe don't need a full team, or they're also used for managing your action items on any kind of your metrics. So let's just talk about these in general. So the just-in-time improvement is just that fix it now, go do it, make the change, see what happens. And you don't want to just make random changes, of course, but you don't want to put a lot of time into this because many of these changes are going to be very basic things. So this might be something like an employee or an operator at a workstation finds themselves walking back and forth to the garbage can a lot. And they may realize that the garbage can, if it's in one spot, part of their process is covered, in the other spot, part of their process is covered, but they always have to walk, and their project may be go to find another garbage can. So if they get a second garbage can, make a space for it, that's a just-in-time improvement, because now from both locations, they don't have to walk to the garbage can to throw away whatever they're working on. So those are the kind of little just-in-time projects that people just don't often think of as continuous improvement, because it just makes common sense. But many times people don't feel empowered to do that. So that's the culture you have to create if you want employees to do the just-in-time improvements. Now, the countermeasure sheet is there's a form for that, and I have different videos and courses on that. The form is available on my website, and I'll take a moment here. Most of the forms I offer are available in a free version, and then you can get the Discovery Toolkit. Right now, these things change all the time. It is continuous improvement after all. But right now, as I'm making this video, there is a membership, and most of my memberships over the years have always had some sort of premium content available in them, and I do tweak them a lot. So check it out and see what's available there. The links are down below. Also, while I'm on this, likes and subscribes really help me out a lot. If you like this video and you want to see more like this, the likes let me know I'm on the right track. If I don't have any response and there's no clicks, no likes on it, it tells me that these aren't valuable to people. So the likes really do help me know that you want to keep on top of them. Subscribes lets you make sure that you don't ever miss anything in the notifications. Okay, the next one is a Kaizen project. These are full teams that are designed to go into one particular area for a standard amount of time. Normally it's a week, sometimes 3 days. Sometimes you'll get people do a little bit of advanced work and then have to come back if there's a lot of data collection, they need things like that. But generally, a standard Kaizen is a 1 week. Monday's training, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday improvements, and Friday morning is a report out. That's kind of the standard Kaizen timeline. But these are going to be several people. Over here we say 3 to 10 people. You can have a leader on that one. Often you'll have a facilitator who knows the ins and outs of Kaizen. They help the leaders. So the leaders are in charge of the process. The facilitator is in charge of the continuous improvement process. And A3 thinking is a big higher order project. These take a lot longer in time, and they are going to be more team focused in terms of cross-functional teams throughout the organization. They're going to have a lot more high-level leadership involved, and they'll be a lot longer in duration because the scope is bigger and you can't make the quick changes. For Kaizen, it's going to be a lot of times it's just going to be a particular work cell. So you might have like a production line that you work on 3 stations on it. Oftentimes you'll have to shut down for a day on the Kaizen, or you'll just do it in the evening. You might do a nighttime Kaizen, but you work around trying to keep the line running. For A3 projects, you really can't shut anything down because you're talking about the big organizational things there. So if you take a look down this, you can see all the different things. I'm sure you've been looking at it while I've been talking. kind of was a point for leaving it all up as I speak. Now, this is a poster, and this is part of my passive learning series. So I have 85 posters right now. I have maybe 20 of them that are already done and just have to get them posted, and about 150 more that are on my list of things to do, all the kind of ideas and what I want to present. I'll be doing videos for each of these for here on YouTube, and I'll also be doing more detailed courses. So if you want to check out the website and see, it's training.volaction.com. No, and that's training.volaction.com. And it'll give you a lot better information about these things. So I don't want to waste too much time here talking. I want to talk more about the actual products or the actual projects. So as you probably expect, as you move through the cycle, they get more complex, they get more resource intensive, they need more analysis, more root cause analysis, bigger teams and all that. So you want to use the smallest project you can to solve the problem, because it is, a cost benefit analysis. And if you are spending too much time and money and using overkill in your projects, you're just wasting time, and you do frustrate people when they feel like, why are we on a project team for this little thing? So when you talk about what method, if you can just do the project immediately, fix it immediately with little risk, just use a just-in-time improvement. And that can be an individual working alone. The lead can go and help with the project. So it doesn't mean that it has to be a single person doing it. It could be a couple people. A lead could say, you two guys go and take care of this problem right now. If one person or a small team can solve it, but it's going to take a little bit of time, you'll probably want to use a countermeasure sheet. And this is going to be a way of kind of doing your analysis better. It structures your thinking. Again, take a look at the countermeasure form or countermeasure sheet, because it's pretty self-explanatory. The biggest thing in the countermeasure sheet is that when you set your goals on it, you need to make sure that your countermeasures actually add up to it. We call it countermeasure calculus here. And that's basically the idea that when you're making your project plans, you need to account for all the gap between your, current state and your goals. And that's how I define problem. I define a problem as a gap between your current state and your expectations. So when there's that gap between your reality and expectations, that's a problem. If you need a dedicated team where it's not one person going to be able to get it all done, if it's going to be something that you have to shut things down for a little while and one person would not be able to handle it quickly enough, that is when you start using a Kaizen project. Or, I don't know if I've said this up here, if you don't have a good idea of what to do. So generally when you have a project team come together, they get a much better synthesis of ideas when people start bouncing questions and ideas and suggestions off of each other. Those ideas tend to evolve better than if one person's just thinking of it on their own. And then finally, if it's really a big strategic thing, or if it affects a lot of different departments, you're going to want to go to the A3 project. So that is, in a nutshell, the 4 basic problem or project types you're going to be able to use to support your continuous improvement efforts. Again, I do appreciate it if you do hit the like button. If you subscribe, you'll make sure that you're not going to miss anything if you hit the notification button too. So I do appreciate any help you give on that, and I'd like to think that it helps you out too to be able to get this content as soon as it's available. So have a good day. Thanks again.